Alright, so as I said, we're going to be spectating, or we're going to be following the Barik. We're going to watch the Barik plays, what he did good, what he did bad. So the comps obviously are Barik, Ruckus, Eevee, Shaolin Ying versus Makoa, Torvald, Victor, Grok, Snake. So main thing for Barik here, since we have the Barik and Ruckus, both of them do similar things, right? You have the aggressive tanks and you have the defensive tanks. The defensive tanks, being Ruckus and Barik, their job is to set up point control and essentially be AFK on point and try to just cause a commotion, force them to go to the point, force them to be around the point. Right, if he's just sitting in this general area around the point, then it makes it much harder for them to make decisions. They have to deal with the point pressure, and they have to kind of decide what they want to do. Do they want to deal with the Barik, or do they want to deal with the rest of the team? Now, in this case, we have two of these defensive tanks. Usually you don't want these two defensive tanks, because then you have two people that are doing the same thing, basically. Like they're doing the same thing. They both want to get on point. They both want to force the opponent to make a decision about the point. But since we're on Ice Mines, it's a small map for the point. Like there's not very many areas. Then it's okay. Generally speaking, it's okay to have these two defensive tanks. I'd say same thing on Jaguar Falls, but definitely on Ice Mines, it's perfectly okay having these two defensive tanks that you normally wouldn't want to have. So Thiel's job in this, as the Barik player, his job is going to be to set up on point, and then Bonkar, who has a little bit more push potential, a little bit more damage, he's going to likely try to either push through face here in the little room there, or he's going to push out Winter here. Those are kind of his two options. He wants to essentially do the same thing that Thiel's doing on Barik, except he wants to do it from a different angle. He wants to, like, let's say his decision is to go here. So he's going to stand here, and he's going to force someone to come and deal with him. Because if he's just standing here, he's just going to be shooting everybody. And there's, like, if they turn on him, he can just back off. He's tanky enough where he can survive. So his job is to do essentially what Thiel is doing with the Barik, except instead do it off the point and cause some chaos. So I imagine this first time, Bonkar is likely to go in here. He doesn't really know what's going to go on at the start. Thiel might come in here for starters as well. Put a barricade here so they can't get a quick Makoa hook. And so Bonkar and Thiel basically all they want to do is they either want to stack on top of each other and use the barricade as a defense mechanism for the Ruckus, or they want to split up entirely and put one in here and one up here. Those are kind of their two options. And what they're planning on doing, they have a pretty stacky comp, so we're likely going to see Victor come up here into the window, try to dismount people and spray people down. We'll see the Grok push into face here and try to poke people out. Victor might come here for starters and throw a couple grenades or something if he's using Grenadier. But his job is basically, like the Grok's job is to come here and poke it out, force the issue in here basically, make sure you take control of this general area. Because if you have control of this in here in face, then you have a pretty good lineup to the rest of the point. So, if I unpause, and slow it down to normal speed. Alright, so this is the idea here then. So Bonkar decided to sit up here for starters, which is okay. It's not optimal, but he's sitting up here. He's spraying them down, making sure as they come out. He's essentially doing what a Victor would do, right? Peridot's doing the same thing. He's here, he's throwing some grenades, dismounting as many people as possible. Like Bonkar's essentially doing what I said Victor was supposed to do, where he comes up here and he just checks things out a bit, stays safe, and then decides what to do after that. Thiel comes around here, he's setting up his turret immediately. He's setting up at a point where they can't really shoot it. Like they have to come out and take damage from it if they're gonna shoot it at all. He decided to go with the turret build this time because they had a Torvald anyways, so he's with the turret build. So he sets up a turret here where they can't shoot it safely from in there. They have to come out and take damage from it if they want to shoot it. And then, unfortunately, he gets hooked. I guess Bugsy was expecting him to come around there, so he's looking for that hook for starters, like decided before he even saw Thiel probably. And then I'm coming out here to set up some illusions for Thiel. So immediately Thiel makes, I don't want to say it's a mistake because it's not really. He just came out here. He did the right thing. He set up a turret out of line of sight so that when they come out, they will take damage. Unfortunately, he gets hooked. I think he actually gets out here. I'm gonna pause again. So Bonkar jumped down there, gave him some damage reduction. I mean, Thiel's kind of running away from it, but you can see he still has the aura around him. He has the damage reduction. So if they commit really hard to him, we're going to be able to do a lot of damage to him, right? You see Bugsy's going in real hard to chase him. Now Lazy's in a good position to follow up, Bonker's in a decent position to follow up on that. So if I unpause, slow it down a bit too. I believe Theo probably dies here. Actually, did they let him go? I guess they let him go. And then Bugsy ends up dying for it. Yeah, there it's the 1-for-1. I'm going to pause again. So it's a 1-for-1. They chase the Barik. Barik gets out. Lazy dies, which isn't as important. It's much more important in this scenario that Theo stays alive than Lazy on the Eevee. Because Lazy can come back quickly. Theo needs to stay alive, set up more on point. And then me and Lemmy were able to collapse on them a little bit when they pushed too hard. So now they're kind of in an awkward spot where Elven Path is dead. They have no Torvald. Bugsy's really fucking low, so he can't peek or do anything right now. And Sheepa's kind of off on his own. Sheepa's doing his job right now. He's just kind of causing commotion. He's essentially filling the same role that a Ruckus could, where you just kind of stand up here and you force someone to deal with you, get an angle. But we're in a decent spot right now because Theo's still alive. He can heal up here, no problem. Unfortunately, I'm not in a position to heal him, so he's just going to set up a turret, I'm sure, and heal up, or heal out of combat, whichever. Bonker's going to back up. I see that they're low, so I'm probably also going to back up here. I might go fight the Grok, that's fine too. Yeah, me and Lemmy, we deal with the Grok. Theo's still healing up over there. So at this point, Theo's perfectly fine now. So all Theo has to do, he just sets up a turret in here, and he just holds this area, right? Bonker's healing up as well, so he's fine. Theo just sets up this area, pokes. He's gonna have full vision on everybody here, so he can just poke whoever he wishes. So he's just gonna set up a turret, whether it be here or a bit further in, and then he can go get point control with his barricade. At this point, we're practically already winning the fight. Theo gets hooked again, which it should be fine. Like, they have no damage to follow up on it. Now we have point pressure. We're winning this fight. Unfortunately, we weren't capping too much to begin with, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. So Bonker staying on point. Again, this is the whole idea with having two defensive tanks, is now you have two tanks that are going to do the same thing here. Both Barik and Ruckus kind of want to stay on the point here. They're both very good at staying on the point and forcing them to collapse when they're trying to re-enter. They're forcing them to come into either turrets or a Ruckus, neither, which is very good. But since we have two, Bonker stays on the point. He's still healing up a bit. So Theo pushes out. I think I called that Bugsy was around the corner here. I think Theo gets a bit too greedy, and then we salvage it somehow. I think what Theo should be doing here is he should set up a turret in this corner, and he should just hold this angle, right? He can just put a barricade here. He can do whatever he wants. Like, he can dismount anybody. He can out-damage anybody from this range. So he should just be setting up a turret here that he can heal with. I would set up an illusion here on the corner for him, and then he can just hold this forever, basically. There's no real need to push here. But I called the Makoa, and he took it too literally and went for the Makoa. So I think what he's going to do is push up here. Oh, no, he's good. Oh, he got hooked. Got kind of fucked on. At this point, he should be dead. He does survive here for a fucking long time, because I, like, pocket him and shit. I put two illusions there for him, and somehow he managed to stay alive. This actually won us the point. Like, they spent so much time trying to deal with Theo here, that we ended up just getting so much, like, we have two people on point just capturing at this point, so. This is literally just Theo staying alive for as long as possible. He should have been dead here a lot earlier, but. So yeah, now they're coming for the retake. Theo's dead. Now it's up to us to get repositioned. Lemonade knows. Lemonade's backing off. He knows that this is not a good situation. They're all respawning. So he's starting to back off. Lazy's just looking for poke, and I'm just standing in this corner trying not to die. So the Makoa dies here. We get the return pick for the Barik. The Snake also died too lazy, so we're in a much better position than they are. Like, Bonker's full HP practically. Lemonade's in a good position where he can safely peek that and not take any damage. Lazy's just blinking in and out, doing whatever he wants. So there's really no chance of them retaking this with two dead.
Stop the payload. Escort the payload.
Alright, now we're in Snowball phase. We cap the point. This is literally just everyone trying to snowball as much as possible. You see Lazy and Lemmy pushing up here. They know the Makoa's dead, so they can't really get hooked, right? Normally this would be a bit risky, because Makoa could stand right here. Anyone that peeks that corner should just be dead. But in this case it's fine. They can push up pretty uncontested. They know that Elven's low, I assume. So this is just Snowball. Theo should be coming back. Once Theo's back, he'll also push up with them. We do have to stay a little bit safe here, because Theo is still respawning, so we still have to be a little bit safe. We can't, like, normally if everyone was alive, we'd be like over here already. We'd be pushing them down as much as possible. But since it's still an uneven fight, we need to be a bit more careful. Lazy with the hot blink into the wall. Classic. So yeah, now we're getting to the point where Ko is back, so now we have to play a bit more careful. Lemonade died to a random grenade, so that's, it just is what it is. So now we have to play safe, but they outnumber us, so I'm probably telling Bonker to go back now. He shouldn't, because if he's standing out here, he's just going to get hooked. So he's just kind of trying to hide in the window. Theo's setting up turrets where he should be. Another option would be in here. But this is fine too. He's at risk of getting hooked here. Like, this is not a great position, but he could easily just set up a turret, jump over on this side of the wall, see what he does. So he went to the position where I said. Lazy gets hooked, unfortunately. Not much you can do about that. But he went to the position I said. Just kind of hold in here. We're still waiting for Lemonade to come back, and now we're going to be waiting for Lazy to come back. This is going to be a retreat call, probably. Lazy's fucked, so I imagine Theo's going to be out of there. Yep. I'm dead here because I was stuck. Was I dead? Yep. This is kind of fallback mode. Nothing we can do. Bonker is in a shitty position here and he's going to die for it. So this is just Bonker trying to get as much damage off as he can before dying, basically. So we're still in reset mode. This is not good for us. We're spending a lot of time just like waiting for one person to come back constantly. This is not a great situation. So now we're literally just waiting for Bonker to come all the way back before we try to do anything. At this point, it's up to Theo and Bonker basically to break through this. Like, Theo's up in the window, he'll drop down, he'll put a barricade here for Bonker to come push through, basically. We want to take control of this area, right? It's nice if we can get angles out here, and Lazy does get a nice pick on Peridot, who's way out of position. But it's mostly up to Theo and Bonker to push through here and take control of this area. So you see Theo comes back, goes with Bonker. We get the first pick. Bonker's gonna push up here. Now we know, like, this is a point. Like, this is a fight we can win now. Like 100%. Peridot's dead. They have literally no damage. Like, the only damage they have is a hook. Like, they have Grok right clicks, but that's not really, if we're stacking this much, it doesn't really make a difference. We have Ying heals, we can out heal it, no problem. So this is literally just like everybody push as hard as you can. See if we can get more picks. Now it's like, this is essentially just Snowball Central. Now we're just like pushing as hard as we can. Unfortunately, again, since we have two defensive tanks, they're kind of stuck. They're stuck sitting around on the payload. They can't push too much. Like, Theo's gonna go up top here. Like, he can set up a turret here, right? He sets up a little turret here. He pushes away this Victor. Like, the Barik can easily outtrade the Victor if he gets up top here. So his job is to come up here, set up a turret, just keep like general control of this area. He just wants to keep the high ground, because Bonker has a much harder time up here. He doesn't have as much cover he can use. If Bonker's just standing up here, he's going to take all the fire from Victor, he's going to take all the fire from the Grok. Like, it's not good for a Ruckus to be up here, really, at least not alone. So instead, Theo's going to come up here. He can place a turret, so he's still healing, even without my healing. And he can put a barricade in case the Victor's spamming him out. And if we manage to get these kills, then Bonker can also come up here, and they can just go, like, take full control of this area. And then Bonker can eventually jump over to the other side. But for now, I think Theo's going to come up here. Bonker's going to try to keep going with the payload and commit to these kills. Oh, Bonker's going up top. I guess that's fine too. Like, it doesn't, like, okay, we did get the kill, so yeah, now you see, like, Bonker has control up here. Theo's with him, so even if Bonker gets hooked now, he should be fine. He can just jump out. He has my heal. Theo's still holding this area. He should probably be further up at this point. Like, this is not really a good position for him. There's no reason he shouldn't be pushed up all the way to here already. Like, he could be here forcing out the Victor so the Victor can't get any damage on us. The only risk is that if he's standing out here, he can get hooked. But as long as he's staying, like, inside, back here, then he's perfectly fine. So we should have a turret set up here, like by this box, right? Or even, you can even have it out here if you want. There's no one that can really deal with it besides the Victor right now. So he can set up a turret here, and then he just stays inside, in here somewhere. And then Bonker's going up on the other high ground. So now we have 2 vantage points basically for our tanks. You see Theo's already making his way. Puts the turret where I said, practically where I said, and he's pushing here to make sure that the Victor doesn't have an angle. Now they're just, this is a lost fight essentially because they popped the McCall ult. I mean, this should be a lost fight. Normally this would be a lost fight. Issue is that Bugsy was fucking greedy as hell for Lemonade. They popped the McCall ult. The McCall ult should force us to reset, but it doesn't because he's retarded and went like greeted really hard for Lemonade instead of just like hitting him a couple times and then backing off. Like normally this would be a reset, but since he was so greedy, we can easily kill him here. Bonker got a kill on the back line, which he should die for. It looks like he's probably safe though. Like he's taking a grenade. Should be okay though. He can just come over here. There's no threat to him really, so he should be okay too. And this is basically gonna let us. This is gonna let us snowball basically, because Bugsy went too deep for Lemonade. I popped the Eagle just to keep our tanks alive. And at this point, Bonker's jumped down. He has no way to get back up again. I'm assuming, yeah, he's using Flux Generator. So he has no way of getting back up again. Like he's kind of stuck down here for now, unless he goes all the way around, which isn't really worth it. So instead, Theo goes up on the high ground. Again, it comes down to the same thing, where you always have one tank, one of the defensive tanks on the cart, and the other one's trying to push up, get an angle. You're essentially doing the same thing, right? Theo just comes in here, he sets up a turret up here, and he can just stand here and poke, right? He can keep the Victor out of the fight. So he's doing the same thing where he's just holding control of an area, but he's doing it away from the cart so that we have full control.
15 seconds remaining.
So as I said, Bonker on the cart, who's not playing particularly safe, might get punished for it. But we're just snowballing the fight right now, like there's nothing they can really do about it. Like it's already too late for them essentially.
3, 2, double kill. Overtime kill.
Alright, that's that point over. That was just kind of their fuck up. They wasted their Makoa ult, which should have forced us to reset, but it didn't because he went too deep. He went too deep without having a team behind him, so. Alright, for the next point, so I believe, is this where I called it out? No, this is, so they basically have no cards. So this should be, from here on out, this is where we start getting a lot of mistakes, because this is like, this game should already be won. They don't have a Makoa ult, we have a Barik ult. We have an Eevee ult, like sure they have more ults, but their ults aren't as relevant. It's like the only real ult that's a threat to us right now is the Makoa ult and the Victor ult. If we don't stack, the Victor ult's irrelevant anyways. Like we shouldn't be stacked up regardless, so the Victor ult shouldn't be that bad. And they don't have a Makoa ult, so this should be a clear-cut win for us. We have 3 Cauterized 2s and we have 2 Wrecker 2s, and they got practically nothing. So this should be a win for us, but it's not. And we will find out why. So again, it should be same thing. Like Theo should have learned by now. Like he got hooked here last time, so I imagine he won't come back to this exact same spot. He shouldn't be expecting the hook from that area.
2, 1.
What's he doing? Actually, he has Master Riding this time, so he's okay. He goes to the same spot, puts the same turret. Bonker does the same thing, gets his position, Lemmy gets his position. So now we have a lot of damage from the window. And at this point, we basically have control already. Like we have control of the fight. Like there's no reason we shouldn't be winning this fight. Lazy's in a good position to get some damage off on the healer, so he has to back off. Bugsy's not in a great position. He's going to be taking a lot of damage here once his shield drops. So overall, this is a winning fight for us so far. Let's see what happens. So Lazy pops the ult. They collapse a bit on Lazy, but he's kind of fine down there. Victor ult doesn't really do anything. I guess the issue here was the Grok getting on me in the backline. I can't heal as much. And we just got forced into like the same area, right? We ended up falling back into the same area. Like this is not great. Like being in this corner with 3 people is not fantastic. Bonker fell back. Obviously, it's a fine response. He got Victor ulted. His option were kind of only to go back here to get out of range of him, out of line of sight. And Lazy, I'm not sure why Lazy was in here. He probably should have been up on the Victor instead. He popped his ult and then he tried to get out, and instead of going back in, he should have gone around here instead, probably. Looked for the Victor or looked for the Snake again. But yeah, so the reason we're losing this fight now, the Grok came around. He wasn't really contested in here. We didn't have any pressure in here because Theo was over here setting up turrets. Like Theo started off good. He put his turret here, then he went out here for some reason. I guess that was for the Victor ult probably. When instead he probably should have been in here contesting. He could have had a nice angle here where he could be hitting everybody and his turrets could have been doing a lot of damage. But instead, Bonker gets hooked in. And now we're at a point where this fight's not great. Makoa does fall because he doesn't have ult. And again, this is just like us being stacked. It's not a great situation for us to be in. Lemonade's not a great position to help either. He's kind of caught out now. And now this is just us resetting. This is everybody get out as fast as possible. I think Lemmy does survive this, so it should be okay. Makoa's dead, so Bonker can be a bit aggressive without getting hooked in. Like he can keep his angle here without getting pressured too much. But he's focusing on healing up. Problem now is that he's not in a great position to get back to us. He should be okay because there's no one else pushing really. I guess the Victor is kind of annoying, but honestly this is fine. The Cauterize is pretty rough though. So yeah, this is just we're still just resetting a bit. Does he get a pick here? I think he gets him. Yeah. So now we have the pick to re-enter with. The issue here is that they have comeback mechanic. Since we're up 0-2, they have pretty big comeback mechanic. So you can already see they have 74% captured. Just one team fight and they have 74% captured already. So it's up to us to make a move now. We got the Victor pick. Lemmy's probably dead here. Like he should get hooked into a silence and he's pretty much fucked. Not much you can do about it. So now it's up to basically Bonker to heal up. Like Theo has to get to the point here basically. Bonker's not healthy enough to get to the point. Like he's gonna have to use his jump to get up to the window and then he's not gonna be able to make it back to the point. So it's basically up to Theo to try to break through here, break through the Grok and try to get into the point, which is not a great scenario. Lazy should be able to touch the point, although he misses and dies for it. Alright, so now we're in a really bad situation where we're playing 4v3. 4v3, Bonker's not healthy, Theo's not really healthy. They have a Cauterize 2 on the Grok, so everyone's getting Cauterized and I can't really keep them alive. So this is more desperation play than anything, where we kind of have to go for the point. Like there's not much else we can do. We kind of have to go for it. The only other option would say, okay, we'll just give it up, let them have it, and we'll run away so we can reset properly, which could very easily have been the better call here. But Lazy just died, so it wasn't an even fight until he died. And now yeah, this is just desperation play essentially. Bonkar's rip. See you later. Theo can't really do anything here, so it's just kind of up to him to die, essentially. He's just going into the point, gonna kill himself, I imagine. There you go, we're both dead. I'm just trying to get some damage off, I guess. Probably should have just died. Yeah, I can see I'm just trying to die. Alright, now it's reset time. Everybody back. Lazy's gonna look for some poke, because he can. Assuming he doesn't get hooked. Lemonade's being too greedy here. I'm not sure why. Not sure what Lemonade's doing here. Let me please. Why are you here? There's no tanks. There's no healer. Shouldn't be there. Regardless. If he's using on purpose, want to jump off the ledge? Well, I wasn't close enough to the ledge. There goes Lemonade because he was out of position like a dum-dum. Bonker probably shouldn't even be poking here. Like this, all the poke that he's doing here is kind of useless because they're just going to heal up with the snake anyways. So he probably shouldn't be in this position. He should be back here just waiting. Like there's nothing he can do about it anyways. All this poke is going to get healed up. He's taking poke that he's not healing up. Plus there's a Grok pushing up here. Whether or not he saw him, I don't know. But this is just, it's unnecessary basically of Bonker here. But Theo makes an even worse mistake than Bonker, I think, in that he's going to the cart. At this point we have 3 people. I'm still respawning. Like I have no heals on these guys. Like there's nothing I can do to heal these guys. So these guys are still in a bit of a risky zone. So what Theo needs to do here is he needs to chill. He needs to set up a turret right here and just wait. There's nothing we can do. They're gonna push for free. Like we have to understand. Lemonade died. They're gonna push for free for a bit. He fucked up and now we need to compensate for his mistake. We need to just chill. Bonker needs to back up to here, heal up without trying to out-poke them, which he's never gonna do. Theo needs to chill, either set up a turret here or set up a turret behind the wall here and just wait basically. There's nothing he can really do. But instead, Theo goes up here, puts himself in a position where he's fucked. Like this is just a horrible position. He has nowhere to escape to. The only potential route he has to escape here. He has like 3 people looking at him and there's a Victor coming too. The only escape route is over here. Which is not a good escape route. You're just putting yourself behind the enemy team essentially. Because they're going to push up here. And now Bonker and Theo are too separated. They can't help each other. I can't heal Theo down here. So this is Theo's fuck up basically in not recognizing that they're gonna snowball. One sec. Anywho, so Chipa and Elvin are gonna push here, making Bonker completely irrelevant. Like he cannot now we two cannot help Theo at all. So this is Theo being out of position. He went down here, knowing that Bonker was out there taking damage, knowing that Grok was coming up here with Torvald. So now we're completely out of the fight. We're getting zoned out, while Theo's down here and can't do anything. Lazy's just in the back doing Eevee things. That's kind of irrelevant to us. But yeah, this is kind of like Bonker initially fucking up by taking a lot of damage, and then Theo not recognizing that fact and setting up in a place where he can get no help now. So you can see, like, he's already just trying to run for his life. Bonker's out of position. Now we're all just taking damage. We're all getting staggered. Because, like, there's no way I'm going to survive this. I have nowhere to go. Like, if they choose to drop on me, then I'm fucked. There's nothing I can really do about it. And now you can see, like, they're just getting all this free push for nothing. This is why, like, this is why it works to push on ice mines, but it doesn't work when you're playing casuals. When you're playing competitive like this, then you can easily push on ice mines because you can just stagger. You saw they made one mistake and we were able to push on ice mines, and when we were attacking, and now we made some mistakes and they're able to just push for free. Right? They have all the positions they could ever dream of. This is like a wet dream for zoning. Like they push the cart all the way to here and they have 2 minutes left, and Theo's not in a position to do anything really. Bonker's still dead. Lazy fucked up somewhere. I don't actually see where. And now it's just like there's nothing we can do. We're so staggered. The only option we have now is to just reset entirely. Theo's dead here. Got hooked to the barricade. Classic. So he's dead. Now it's up to me and Lemmy to go, okay, well, everyone's dead. We have to run back to base, essentially. Like, if we don't run back to base, we're fucked. You can see, I'm bailing. I'm getting the fuck out of there. Lemonade killed himself because he didn't recognize it quick enough. You can see Bonker has the right idea. He's out of there. I couldn't run fast enough. I had a fucking turtle chasing me. I'm dead. I did survive actually in the back. I think I got 2 kills too. You can see like how far they gone just because we didn't defend properly, right? We got staggered, we had bad positions, and then they punish our mistakes. And this is just how it is really on any map, but especially on like Ice Mines, Jaguar Falls. You can really do it quickly. Frog Isle too. So again, this is just desperation play. You see the tanks are not in positions they really want to be. They're stacked up when we said that they don't really want to be stacked up. We'd much rather have, let's say, a Barik, or have Ruckus up here and then Barik on the point, or vice versa. We don't want them to be stacked up, but since it's desperation play, they kind of have to be. And this is like, Bonker probably shouldn't have used ult there. Probably wasn't necessary. I'm fucking doing shit back here, killing the Victor, cleaning up, easy peasy. Still a Grok up there, killing Lemmy. You can see, like, not having the positions, the fact that we're making desperation play, leaves Shipa up here doing whatever the fuck he wants. Like, this is what happens when you don't have the positional advantage, is that when you're making those desperation plays at the end, then you just give up positions like these. I'm not sure. I think we do clutch this out though. I think we hold it. But you can see like this Grok back here killing Lemmy. There's not really anything you can do about it. Alright, let's fast forward a bit. Now Bonker and Theo kind of fucking up. Going very greedy here. Like, they didn't really need to kill that Grok because Lazy probably could have killed the Grok. And if Bonker had taken one little misstep, he would have fallen down here. Plus, if there was a Makoa here, there could easily have been a Makoa who just hooks here, kills Bonker, or is standing down here with the snake, hooking Bonker down. So this is a little bit greedy. And as we said, we don't really want the tanks to stack up like this. Like, Theo could have been underneath, or he could have been up here. Like, this is not, it's not fantastic. But it works out anyways, because they do get the Grok. Oh, there's the Makoa hook that we talked about. Should be all good though, should be all good. Now it's reset time. Now we can finally get some decent positions here. So Theo's in a fine position. He should probably have a turret here. He shouldn't be pushing up this far without a turret probably, especially since he knows there's a Makoa around. Should be a turret right here on around the wall, and then a barricade up here. Bonker can either be down here This is a bit of a risky hold for him, because if he gets hooked here, there's no one to help him. So instead, Bonker's just chilling a bit. What Bonker can do instead is get up here in this window, or be a bit further out here. From here, he can't really get hooked. Like, Theo will know where the Makoa is. So if Theo sees Makoa come down here, Bonker will know it. And Bonker has vision on him where he can't get hooked. So if Bonker's just standing up here, he's pretty safe. He can dismount people, do whatever he wants, really. He can even get up on the boxes and dismount all the way back there. But yeah, Bonker's in a... I'm assuming Bonker is recognizing this and trying to get back up on the other high ground. Or someone called it out, I don't know. Theo's waiting for his turret to be up to make sure that he can hold the position properly. So yeah, this is kind of Bonker making a mistake here. Bonker should have been running for the high ground. We just killed the Grok, so we know that they're still coming back. So he had plenty of time to get up here if he wanted. Like you can see here, I'm in the position where Bonker should be. I had this in the back of my brain, I guess, where I'm like, okay, well, someone should be out here, like, holding this. We don't want to let them... Like, there's no one else up here. We can't just let them come up here for free, because if they come up here, then suddenly they can see Theo, they can just drop down on the payload, and we're in bad positions, so... I'm assuming Lemonade's coming up here. Yeah, Lemonade's coming up top, so I can back off. Lazy got fucking hooked a mile away. Pretty shitty, but not much you can do about it. It happens sometimes. Probably shouldn't have been blinking there since he knew that it was just the Makoa, and the Makoa wasn't looking at anybody else. So now this is kind of a struggle for position. Bonker's still in kind of a bad spot. He doesn't really want to be down here. Like, there's not much he can do. Like, how is he going to help Theo from down here, right? If he was up top, he would have been... If he was just up here where I am, he would have had much better position. He could have just stayed around this wall. Like, just wait it out, see what happens, basically. And then, again, Lemonade's holding a good position here. He knows that the Victor's coming up here, so he's perfectly fine there. But it's mostly just... Right now, it's mostly just Bonker in the bad position. Instead, I probably would have said, if this was the perfect situation, I would say that we'd have a Ruckus here instead, who can just fall back here. Like, he can get a lot of damage up here, whereas Theo can't get too much damage up here. And instead, we could have had Theo with a turret in this corner and a turret up top, and he could have just stood here. Because that way, if he gets hooked, he can just rocket boots back, put a barricade and rocket boots back to his safe haven here. And I can just drop an illusion for him. So it probably would have been better off that way. Since Theo was already pushed up, though, it should have been Bonker who's up here. Not as ideal, but it still would have been perfectly fine. Yeah, we're a man down now. They're just waiting for Grok to come back. They're starting to push up a little bit. And this is the mistake of Theo and Bonker. Since they didn't have positions, they kind of have to back off. Like, if I could have been back here with Theo instead, because Bonker was up top, that would have been much better. Theo wouldn't have had to back off. Like, he could have just chilled here, and just stayed here with his barricade and his turrets. I could have been healing him, it would have been fine. And Bonker could have been up here just fine. But because they had the bad positions, they have to fall back because they're both alone, they both don't really have any help, and they both will die if they get hooked, so... We had to give up our positions because we didn't have positions, good positions to begin with, basically. Now this is up to, like, they probably shouldn't have been focusing on the Makoa. There's no reason the Makoa would be that deep if he didn't have ult. So instead, Lazy was going for the back line. Theo probably should have held this position up here, knowing that the Grok's coming. If we had perfectly clear call-outs, we would have known the Grok was out there. Obviously, that's an ideal situation again. Lemonade's still in a good position up there. He has the flank option, or he can just fall back and have the high ground. Either way, it's perfectly fine. So again, this is literally just like, you can see there's 4 of us back here, essentially just trying to deal with Makoa. We all fell back to the same position, and Makoa just pops ult. Now none of us have good positions. There's a Grok coming up here, completely uncontested. No one's looking at him. They're in the back, chilling. No one's really looking at the Victor. And well, actually, I'm looking at the Victor, I guess. Yeah, so it's like, because we didn't have good positions to begin with, we end up falling back to even worse positions. So that's why it's really important that you have the good positions to begin with. Yeah, now we're just kind of stuck. Like, one Victor ult, then we're all fucked here, basically. Yeah, now they're pulling out their ults. We do get Sheepa, but again, now we're kind of stuck with one tank. This should be a one fight at this point. Like, the issue is that we have literally 4 people staring at this Torvald. Lemonade, I guess, is the only one. Like, Lemonade's mistake here is that he's in the front for some reason. He dropped down from the high ground in the front, so he's taking all the damage. And our mistake is that, well, I guess, again, I'm kind of looking at the Victor still, but we have 2 people shooting this Torvald for no reason. Like, the Torvald's not doing shit. as long as Theo's just standing on the cart, he can still be shooting the other people. Like, he's not going to die. He has heals. A Torvald alone is not going to kill anybody on our team. So we should have been dealing with these guys. So since no one else was, I had to bail. Fucking dead to a Victor ult. And now all of a sudden, oh, because we weren't looking at the right people, we didn't have good positions. There was 4 of us stacked up here. We get punished for it. Like, this is a very clear-cut example of why you need to, like, hold the correct positions. Theo had to bail from the Victor ult, and then suddenly Elven Path just pushes it in. Obviously, that's not, like, the scenario that happens every time. That was also lazy being too late on the call, because I called very clearly. I was like, we have, like, get on the cart, get on the cart. Lazy blinked the wrong way, and it is what it is. That's just, like, again, it all comes down to the first hold here, where Bonker's standing out in here. He has no position here. There's nothing he can do. It's his mistake not being on the high ground. And again, Theo was fine up here, but ideal scenario, it would have been swapped, so Bonker's up here poking and dismounting, and Theo's here with his turrets healing, and one down on the cart so we can bail if needed. So this is why, like, positioning and zoning especially is so important. So this is mostly from the tank's perspective. Obviously, it catches a little bit of all of us. We all made some mistakes here, but it really comes down to Theo and Bonker not being on the same page. It's hard when you have 2 defensive tanks like that, because normally Theo could have been pushed up, which means Bonker could have been fine on standing more on the payload. But when you have the 2 defensive tanks that are based on reacting to what they're doing instead of trying to act themselves, then you end up in that scenario where it's like, okay, well, we just need to hold positions better. The only way we can win that is the only way we can defend that is if we hold positions properly, because we have the 2 defensive tanks. And if we're not holding positions properly, then you'll see how quickly you get punished.